Throttle warning.
What's up? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and I ordered the Turbo Racing 176 scale FPV kit from Team Black Sheep, and I must say that I was a little disappointed when it arrived because it arrived like this as a kit. You have to fully do the mod on your own, but I guess that's my fault because I didn't pay attention to the description. On the page, it has a description that explains that this is a kit, and so you have to do the whole mod yourself. And so it arrived this way with everything we have here on the table. This is the TBS 5G8. It says 5G8 micro antenna. So we're not going to use that though. We have the racing car battery. This is a larger battery, an upgrade for the battery on this thing. We're definitely going to be using that. And we have some extra wiring and pins in case we need these things. I don't think we're going to need that. We're going to toss that to the side. An ultra tiny FPV camera. And this little thing is awesome. Check out how small this thing is. So very small. Oh, we're not going to toss this to the side. We're actually going to use this. And so that's going to fit right about here on the car. And this is the TBS Unify 32 Pro, and this is a VTX, very tiny VTX. As you can see inside there, it comes with an antenna and all, and this thing can actually do 400 milliwatts, but we're only going to do 25 milliwatts because it's going in this little guy here. And so the final thing is this guy here. This is the Turbo Racing 176 scale. That's the version 1, generation 1. And so I guess the good thing about this coming as a kit is that you guys get to see how to modify this thing into an FPV system using the TBS Unify 32 Pro and all this stuff that you get here. And so that's given that I'm successful at FPV in this guy. So we're going to have to drill a little hole here because the camera is going to go here in the front. And we're going to have to use that battery. I don't think we have to use that battery, but I think it might be a good idea being that the VTX is going to be in here sucking up a little more energy. And so let's get started, guys. All right, so this is definitely a larger battery. This is a 100 milliamp hour battery. The one inside is a 75 milliamp hour battery. So this is everything we're going to be using right here. So we have this little antenna here. And I believe this is adhesive on the back to attach it somewhere inside the car. And we have the battery. We have the little tiny camera. We have this VTX. Tiny camera again. All right, y'all, so here we have this first pin is signal for smart audio. The second pin here is for video. The third pin here is for ground. The fourth pin here is 5 volts out. So 5 volts out to the camera. And then we have a ground here. And then on the end there, we have a 3.7 volt in. So this is going to be where the battery lead is going to go. The battery power is going to be coming into here. Maybe directly from the battery or actually from the car. I think it's going to be from the car. And so let's get to soldering these little pads up here. Now we're going to have to cut these camera wires here and get them on there. I'm just guessing about here should be enough. It's about the length of the car. Let's get that cut. We're just going to expose some of the wire from here I like to use my nails. Just pull it off like that. So let's get it soldered up. These little guys soldered up a little. Get all red, soldered up. All you need is a little. It's not a lot. There we go. And then, so remember, the second wire is our video. So we're going to get that. Got all three soldered. Let's look at it up close. Make sure the connection's clean. I can get my camera to focus. It looks like it's clean to me. Doesn't look like it's touching. Doesn't look like they're touching each other. Sheesh. Okay, there we go. Let's see, this attaches here. There we go. So we got the antenna working correctly. Let's zoom out. So now all we have to do is figure out where's the 5-volt out on this little car here. So I had to force this battery up. I wasn't thinking I should have had that part on camera, but you have to pretty much pry this battery up from the body because it's glued on there, and it's some type of double-sided sticky tape there helping to hold the battery still on here. And we're definitely going to swap the battery out, so I had to get that loose. Pulling on some of this red adhesive they have in here. This adhesive is very, very tough, so be careful. Man, it's strong. Sheesh. Looks like both the ground and the 3.7 volts are very close to each other. Okay, so what I'm about to do with this battery here is we're going to just cut the battery from here so that we don't risk getting any lines being crossed or anything, because I'm going to be using this pin here to try to get some of this red sticky adhesive off of here that they put on. So see if we can snip one of these wires at a time. There we go. And so now that makes it a little easier for us to be able to get this red stuff off and figuring out where the actual solder pads are. I think I have the soldering iron too hot now. It's soldered up enough though, enough to get on there. So the ground was on this side, so let's get the 3.3 right there, the ground right here. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Let's test it. Hopefully it doesn't fry when I turn this guy on. Jeez, where is it? Okay. There we go. So we got power. That means the battery is soldered correctly. Oh, it wasn't soldered tightly. My soldering job sucked. Let's see if we could get some more solder on this battery lead here. There we go. Okay, let's try again. This solder's on there. Let me clean up my soldering tip. See if we can get it on there. Oh man, you guys can't see anything, can you? Let me zoom it in. There we go. So let's see if we can get this soldered on there. Man, we don't have enough solder on there. Man, that don't look like it went well. Oh, maybe it did. Let's see. Power it on. There we go. So we got it in the right spot, guys. Okay, so I took it down. Let's get it back up there. Okay, so we're going to use this wire that we cut. We're going to use this wire that we cut off of here to go from the VTX to the car. So let's expose some of this wire here. I'm thinking maybe we might cut it. Should we cut it? Nah, let's give ourselves a little play. When we get this VTX in there, we might have to move it around. So let's take a little off the black, a little off the red, expose some wire. Let's move this away for a second while we get some solder on here. Wait, let's expose this red one a little more. Now let's get some solder on there. Solder up the red one. That side look like it's already soldered. And let's solder up the black one. This side looks like it's already soldered, but we're going to give it some more. There we go. Clean up the soldering iron tip. Okay, so let's take this car down. And we're going to solder those two leads onto here. It goes there and there. The 5 volt goes on the end. Or 3.3 volts it is. Let's see if we can get this on camera for you guys to look at. Okay. 5 volts goes on this end. And the ground goes on this one. Really gotta have a steady hand for this, man. And I don't have a steady hand, but I got it on there. So that's testament that you should be able to do it. There you go. That's the closest it's going to zoom in. It looks like it's clean enough that nothing's going to spark. Whew. So let's drop this down. And we're going to get the car back up here now. Let me sit my iron down. Now in the car here, let me show you guys this. Zoom out a little bit more. And so the car here, we're going to go, let me use this. We're going to go to the ground right here. And we're going to go, the 5 volts is going to be that, well, the 3.7 volts is going to be that little thing right there. Let me use the pin to point. Pin seems to be a little more accurate if I can find a pin. Okay, we're going to go right here to this little line right there. Okay, so let's get this guy up on here. Hopefully you guys can see it. Still, we're going to that little line right there. Sheesh. Hate these little tiny soldering jobs here. Whew. So let's get some solder on there. Well, first off, we're going to try to get this VTX soldered to this one here. And then we're going to go, no, we should go there first. Let's get some solder on there. Hopefully we can do it. Let's see if we can get. Okay, so. Man, this is looking like it's going to be hard, guys. For me, anyway. I don't know. I'm going to have to slide this back a little. There we go. So let's see if we can get this on there. Look like it went. Look like we got solder fell off, it looked like. Hopefully that's not it right there. Let me zoom in on that, because that's potentially something bad. If a ball of solder falls off and gets somewhere. I don't think that's it. I think that's something else. Have a little piece of something sticking up right there. Yeah, I don't think that's what we just did. Let me turn my soldering iron down a little. Get some solder on it. Okay, again, we're going to this little line right here. The first one right there. My soldering iron, I think, is just too big. The tip is. I need a more fine tip. But let's see if we can get it on there. It's going to go right here. So let's see if we can heat that up. Man, it's hard to get something right there. There it is. Look like we got something there. Okay, so we're going to have to get that. 5 volt on there. Let's see if we can do that successfully. Hold it on there. And tap it. Didn't work the first time. Hold it on and tap it. Okay, so we're on here. So that's where it has to go. And we have to get this onto the ground. Hold it on and tap it. Hold it on and tap it. Oh, I had a feeling that was going to happen. This one came loose. So we're going to hold this one on. Sheesh, I don't want to have anything spark here. Sheesh. Come on, you ground. Get up. The ground is going all over the place. Okay, hold it on and tap it. Tap it there. Tap it there. It's not on. Tap it. Tap it. It's on now. Whew. So let's see if everything actually powers up. I think it's on there. Yeah, it's on there. Everything is connected. Let's see what happens if we hit this switch here. Uh-oh, we didn't get anything. Hitting this switch here. Switch it back off. Okay, there we go. Hit the switch again. We got it. Let's see if we got some video showing. This VTX gets pretty hot too. Let me zoom out a little. We got everything flashing, appearing to be working. Even the VTX. Woo, this thing is hot. Where's the button? Oh, the button is right here. Man, I need some gloves or something on for this button. Yeah, this button is pretty hot, guys. Let me see if I can get a small screwdriver and try to change the channel in here. Let's see, we're gonna tap that button. Okay. I'm gonna have to use gloves or something. For the most part, we did the soldering though. I gotta see how I'm gonna situate this inside the car body here. This little receiver I have here, this little monitor. Oh, there we go. We're locked in on the channel now. I must have successfully changed the channel on this guy. So we're locked in on the channel now. Check it out. Actually looks pretty good. Wow. So let's see. This is the top here. This is right way up. Or is it this way? Let's see. Which way is right way up? I think this is right way up here. Yeah. This is right way up. So, sheesh. So this wire is going to have to go under here. And the camera is going to have to be, the wire is going to be on the bottom. The camera is going to be sitting up top like that. Okay, so let's turn this off and get this guy underneath the hood. Get all of this stuff underneath the hood. And hopefully everything stays working. All right, y'all, I had to break out one of my Dremel tools. So, all right, y'all, so we're going to test it out on one of these little extra canopies here. There we go. We got a little hole in there. See if we can get some of the other in this socket. Got it looking a little better. Looks to be a perfect fit. Let's see if it even snaps in there. Well, it doesn't snap, but it definitely fits in there. Alright, y'all, so this is where we at with it. I actually cut the top of this canopy completely off just about in order to be able to see what's going on inside. I put the larger battery back on it, and check it out. I have the camera in place, and this battery reaches right up just about past the top, and so that's proof that there's no way that this larger battery was going to be able to fit in this canopy without modification, because it's just too large to fit inside the canopy along with this VTX right here. And so there's no way possible for this thing to work with all of this underneath the canopy. And so check it out what I've done. Again, I removed the top. The battery is right up to the top, and we have the VTX sticking out along with the antenna sticking out. We're going to just place the antenna right here. And this is the way this thing is going to have to operate. I found that the battery that was inside the car initially is too small or not enough high of a C rating in order to support this VTX, and the throttle on this thing, it was browning out. And so that's the reason why I put the bigger battery back on. But let's go check it out. So here we are on one of my tracks. I'm using a small FPV monitor to show you guys the footage, and as you can see, the picture quality is pretty decent. And I drew these little arrows on the walls of the track because it can be confusing driving around the track without the arrows there. You can easily find yourself traveling the wrong direction on the track or getting lost or mixed up. And so these arrows help me keep orientation to which way I should be traveling on the track. And this little camera is pretty awesome. I thought the field of view was going to be too narrow, but it seems like the field of view is just right. And as you can see here, I'm speeding through the track here, and I'm pretty familiar with this track, and that's the only reason why I'm traveling this fast on it. I doubt if I had a new track that I would be able to travel this fast on it. And this thing is pretty fun. And so here's my other track, and this track is a bit more of a problem for me. This is my obstacle course track, but I think this looks better FPV. I didn't get to draw the arrows on the walls. I need to do that. But this one, it seems like it gives you a sense that you're moving faster because you can see how fast you're moving because of the floor, the changes in the floor that I'm driving on here. And so totally awesome though, although I do think that Black Sheep needs to recalculate. They miscalculated on this one here. There's no way you're gonna get this FPV system underneath the cover of this little RC car. It's just too much stuff to go underneath there. The battery is too big to be placed under there with the VTX on top, and so you're gonna have to cut the top of the hood off in order to get everything to fit and have this thing FPV'd. Now I do recommend it, absolutely. This thing is a blast. I think this FPV system is totally awesome. Really, really, really fun to drive this thing around FPV. And now I'm thinking about getting one of these little nano VTXs to run inside my little tiny whoop. I have a little teeny wop, and that thing is carrying a big camera compared to how small it is, and I should be able to use one of these little small cameras in VTX, and it'll improve it a whole lot, I'm pretty sure. So pretty awesome. The TBS FPV system for the 1/76 scale turbo racing RC car. I definitely recommend it. But Team Black Sheep, y'all have to do some recalculating. Pretty awesome though. Thanks for watching.